Let us move on into the next track. Ariel, Kate Bush. We're moving on from Miss Bartolozzi to How to Be Invisible. Sometimes you don't even need instructions. Sometimes you just feel invisible. That's okay. Sometimes it's okay to be invisible. Sometimes it's okay to be a little see-through. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. We're moving on to the next track. I'm pulling up the information right now. We'll discuss it a little bit after. Here we go. Some movement in this one. Little sounds inserted in that space. Western.
I found a book on how to be invisible. Take a pinch of keyhole and fold yourself up.
Detail in the sounds.
Stem of wallflower, hair of dawn.
Someone's really playing around.
Is that the wind from the desert song? Is that an autumn leaf?
And it sounds like wind.
Or is that you walking home? Is that the wind from the desert song? Is that an autumn leaf? home and fold yourself up. Cut along the dotted lines and think inside out.
Love that one.
Jump round 3 times. You jump into the mirror. You're invisible.
Can I just say that the guitarist is in my opinion, the star of this track? That's going to be Dan McIntosh handling guitar in here. And how cool is it that in an overall thematic sense of the word, he chooses kind of this Western theme and Western-based riffs to kind of play off of, which gives this track a really interesting kind of feel, and you can kind of play along with that in lieu of the lyrics as well. Like, just a really great creative choice and stylistic choice in that particular regard. I also love how, especially in the beginning, you heard a lot of that as the song was building up before Bush herself entered in, how there's those moments between the riffs that are allowing for space and for little subtleties to be included in the music. And McIntosh does a great job of inserting himself in those moments, because at first that's where he's kind of starting up the Western, I guess the Western sound there. That's when he starts to bring in the tumbleweeds, so to speak, across what was the like in cowboy films, Meet Me at, not High Noon, but like the place. Anyways, he brings in the tumbleweed with the guitar riffs, okay? But then even throughout the rest of the track, Bush is obviously handling the keyboards as well. She also inserts quite a number of little filler moments and little things in there that between the both of them create this really interesting feel in which it feels like something's just a little bit off. You get the whole theme of, a Western-like sound, but there's something about it that is just a little bit different. And the way that Bush sings throughout most of the track is, kind of going with the lyrics, as if she's discovered something and she's kind of secretly and hiding away her discovery, but also enacting upon what she discovered. So there's kind of this interesting hidden feel to everything, hidden, invisible. There's just this interesting juxtaposition between all that. A little bit of strings come in about halfway through, but it's really McIntosh, his guitar playing, that I think is out of this world. And I just really like the theme of it and how it works so well along with the way that Bush is also performing and her singing there. Let me pull it back here really quick. Like right here. That's probably, the backwards sound is probably McIntosh, but the sound on top of it's probably Bush. And then he brings in more overdubs of the guitar as well, just a little plucking, as she begins to invoke and kind of, she's mentioning almost like, not casting a spell, but almost like brewing a potion of sorts, which is kind of interesting, the word she uses in there. Like, it's just this really mystical, deserty kind of track that captures a really unique atmosphere that I think works really well for how those two specifically perform in here. Let's look at the lyrics on here. Let me pull you guys up. I found a book on how to be invisible, and then she tells us how to do it. Take a pinch of keyhole, a hole, there's nothing there, just invisible, right? And fold yourself up. You cut along the dotted line, and you think inside out, and you're invisible. That's how you do it. And then the chorus here, I love the word she uses. Eye of Braille. Okay, eye of Braille. Braille, a blind person reads in Braille. They can't see, so there's kind of a contrast there. Hem of anorak, I'm going to have to read on that one. Stem of wallflower, a wallflower, someone who's against the wall, so to speak, at a party, someone who is invisible. Hair of doormat, someone who perhaps feels walked upon. So, it's interesting, how she creates this potion and the ingredients that she chooses there. I'm going to Google search really quick the anorak, because I've never heard of that. An anorak is a hooded, it's a pullover jacket. That's an anorak right there. So someone that is holding a hem, like in clothing. Okay, so someone that's covering themselves. So all of these ingredients are, words associated with basically being perhaps an introvert or hiding away or trying to be invisible. That's a very creative way to write that. I found a book on how to be invisible on the edge of the labyrinth, under a veil you must never lift, pages you must never turn in the labyrinth. Like you're lost in here, right? You stand in front of a million doors, and each one holds a million more corridors that lead to the world, like the internal rhyme of the invisible. Corridors that twist and turn, corridors that blister and burn. Is that the wind from the desert song? And that's where we hear that wind-like sound coming in. Is that an autumn leaf falling? Or is that you walking home? Or is that you walking home? Is that a storm in the swimming pool? Is that the wind from a desert song? Or is that you walking home? All right, so at this point, the subject has, in a sense, become invisible. And she's questioning, is that the wind of a desert song? Is that an autumn leaf falling? Or is that actually you? Because you're invisible, so she can't see you. So she just sees the effects. So this is a really creative song lyrically. Then it repeats it again here at the end, changing the instructions. You jump around 3 times. You jump into the mirror, and you're invisible. You jump into your reflection, almost canceling both of you out, perhaps. That's a really, if anything, Bush always writes such interesting lyrics that are, I think, incredibly creative. Just the way that she wrote all that, took a simple concept of feeling unseen and really delved into that really nicely. Let me know what you all thought, of course, in the comments down below. I hope that you enjoyed the music. As always, I appreciate you being here and stopping on by. Please come on back by again tomorrow, and I will see you all then. Bye, guys.